What's up, folks? We're here with the second attempt at this because apparently my app decided to crash about a minute into doing this the first time. So we are finally back after a third of the year for a second round of SRL. Finally got a controller with working no stick drift analog sticks, which means editing these videos is no longer fucking impossible like it was before. I wasn't even gonna try to do it. Stick drift made it a nightmare with this editing software, but nonetheless, we are here finally again with the second round of SRL, coming in at the end of qualifying because it was dry right at the beginning, just enough for everyone to do one run of qualifying, and then basically we just get into the pits and retire. But we still got a bunch of dipshits making laps on wets and inters for some reason, but it is the way it is. Yeah, everyone got one dry run at the beginning. We got ourselves in P2, and yeah, we are here for the second round of SRL. Trying to get some momentum going. P2 on the grid at the end of qualifying. You can see me rack up some XP that absolutely no one fucking cares about. And yeah, let's stop talking. I gotta catch up on these videos because not having a good controller for a while to edit them got me behind, but no more excuses now. Let's get into this race. Alright, we skip ahead to the very start of the race. Off the grid start, we're going to get a fantastic launch off the line, but actually not that fantastic of a launch off the line. But we are going to hold P2 nonetheless. We are starting on the medium tires here. And yeah, we got the good start that we needed, and now we just need to cruise, run our own race here, settle in early on. The chances of an early safety car in the SRL races is extremely high, to say the very least. Speaking of that, we already got ourselves a caution behind. Will that be a safety car? It will be a virtual safety car. Will this get upgraded to a full safety car? And it doesn't quite seem so. So yeah, just a virtual off the start, which I like, because with a virtual safety car it means no restart, which means less chances of us just having another immediate yellow. And it allows us front runners here to just break away from the rest of the pack, which minimizes the chances of getting fucked in the race, which is honestly threat number one when racing in SRL. So yeah, let's skip ahead to the end of the VSC. And we are back under green as we approach the braking zone. We time it absolutely perfectly to be right up Simo's butt. This is exactly what we need to be, as close to him as possible. Looking to bounce back after round one. Sitting on a lot of battery here, so we're going to try to get a little aggressive here. We want to kind of put the pressure on him a little bit. He started on the hard tires, so I have reason to believe that he's going to go for a hards to medium strategy when I'm going for a mediums to soft strategy. I'm comfortable with this strategy, comfortable with my setup. And yeah, he's going to burn a lot of meter here. You can see I burned about 20%, and he was still burning even more to be able to maintain that lead there, out dragging me there, even though I had the slipstream as well. So that's fine by me. You know, if he's going to hold the position by having a good pace and burning a lot of his meter, that's fine by me because I'm on a softer tire compound. And if he goes to mediums for the end of this race, I'm going to be still quicker as I go to the softs. So putting the pressure on him, I think, is going to be very beneficial to me when I get the opportunity to do so, and also because I got more quick drivers behind. So it's kind of creates that dynamic in karting where they say, you know, you either got to attack the car in front or you're going to be attacked by the car behind. And that definitely is a prevalent thing here, as the new layout of Australia allows for a lot of slipstreaming to happen. The race would progress a little bit, and nothing really would change too much, but we are very close to him here, still with a lot of ERS on board, and I caught him not using any ERS this time to defend his position. We set the fastest lap of the race so far, gets immediately beaten, but we throw it down the inside and we claim the lead of the race. So now we are the ones sitting nice and pretty out front. He's very close behind, but we are going to be able to keep this lead at the start of lap 5 here on the softer tire compound as well, which usually you would think that was a bad thing because he would be on the softer tire than me at the end of the race, but that's not the case. I mean, worst case scenario, if he does hards to softs when I do mediums to softs, then I'm going to have the advantage of the undercut, given that there wouldn't be a safety car. So whether he's doing hards to mediums or hards to softs, I definitely see this as an advantage to me, because now I'm not being held up by him when I'm on a softer tire compound, whether it be now or later in the race after the pit stops happen. Him and Jensen are battling behind now for second, which is exactly what I want to see. I'm hoping they battle enough that I can break out of the DRS behind, Tim Wentnick is retiring from the session. Still down to 17 drivers. Great attendance here early in the season. And yeah, like I said, this is everything that we want out of this race so far. A little bit of an interesting dynamic going on, as it seems to be a 3 or 4 car race here out front, but different strategies are at play, which the cool thing about that is if we have a long green flag run, we can see interesting dynamics develop in the race. But it being SRL, the chances of us going green to the end are the same chances of me being able to spawn Satan in my room by snapping my fingers. Didn't happen as expected, just like I don't expect us to go green for the rest of this race. As we pull ahead a little bit here in lap 6, I'm going to burn a little bit of meter here, but look how long the straight is. Over half a second was the gap behind, but Jensen's just going to fly by with absolutely no problem, and so does Simo as well. The slipstream is just so great with this new layout of just a long DRS straight that absolutely nothing I can do, and I just fall back to 3rd place. But we are still sitting pretty, we are still sitting in the lead group, and I think we definitely do have a strategic advantage over Simo as it stands. So yeah, still looking good in this race, and while it is frustrating, we are still looking very good to just play the long game, which is definitely probably our biggest strength, is our race pace and our ability to just keep chill mentally and just always play the long game. And absolutely nothing would happen for quite a while until right there that virtual safety car would come out at the end of lap 10, about to be the start of lap 11. If this would upgrade to a full safety car, it would make things really interesting. It does not. So now the question is whether or not a pit stop at this stage of the race is a good idea or not. So let's see if the virtual safety car stays out long enough for us to get back around to the pits. And if so, who stops, if anyone? And spoiler alert, which I don't really know it's a spoiler because it's happening right here immediately. We didn't even get halfway around the track, or we got like halfway around the track before it went green again. But yeah, we are still really close to each other. I'm hoping these guys battle a little bit, kind of open up an opportunity for myself, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen just yet. So frustratingly enough, I just got to slot back into my position, which is not really frustrating, but I do feel like I have a lot of race pace here, and I'm feeling really comfortable with the setup. I didn't feel good on the setup on this track up until the day before this league race, where I put a lot of work in on the setup. So feeling pretty good coming into this one, and yeah, we're running comfortably into podium positions and still with a shout to fight for this race win. During lap 13, we would have yet another virtual safety car. It would end in basically no time at all, but yeah, what is that, 3 or 4 virtual safety cars? It's just another eventful day here racing in SRL. Nothing would happen for a while. We're going to pull it here to lap 16, and it looks like Simo's going to go into the pits the same time I am on these medium tires. He was on the hard tire, so he will most definitely be going to the medium tire. Yeah, he will most likely be going to the medium tire. He could go into softs, though. Who knows? But look what we are doing. Throwing on those soft tires. Those will make it to the end of the race. We get held up in the pits for some reason, but we are away with a little bit of a tire advantage, and we will see if we get the undercut on Jensen, who I don't really want to say opted to stay out, because, you know, he's the car in front. So being the car in front in a tight field like this, you're at the detriment of not knowing what the guys behind are going to do. Yeah. And now at the next lap, it looks like Jensen is just going to be able to get out ahead of us, but we are going to try to use some ERS and the help of the DRS here to maybe go down the inside of him. Yes, we absolutely are, because he went to the medium tires and we have gone to the soft, so we are going to have a compound advantage over our 2 competition runners, or the 2 other guys that were fighting for the race win. I guess it's a much better way to word it. So right there, we give ourselves a 3-second time penalty, like a fucking idiot. But there's still a lot to fight for in this race. We got a tire compound advantage on Jensen and on Simo. So still definitely in with an opportunity to pull a gap if we can put together a solid rest of the race. But now a full course yellow would really fuck us over, because all the virtuals kept the field neutralized and didn't bring us together. But bringing the field together after I gave myself a time penalty is going to be extra disadvantageous for us. We've now pulled ahead to lap 19, and Jensen's going to use the long DRS straight to get back around us. We are also coming up on some lap traffic as well, so that may create a little bit of a headache, so we will see how we navigate this. as well. I don't get DRS there. Neat. And yeah, we got the Ferrari ahead of us. We will see if they hold us up at all. Hopefully they do not, because, well, that would suck for obvious reasons, because we really need to catch up to Simo out front. He's been able to pull away a touch, and yeah, he didn't really have the pace to pull away for us in the first half of this race. So it would be a shame if it would come down to that at this point in the race. And unfortunately for me, I'm going to catch the lapped car at an awkward time. Or I guess this isn't even a lap car. This is a car that just has not pit yet for some reason. But we are going to be able to make the pass happen here and hopefully get back on our way to catching up to the rest of the field. And speaking of not wanting a safety car to happen, you know that that means a safety car is going to happen when a safety car would be bad for me. And now I have the question, and we're in P4 as well, so somebody that stayed out this whole time just lucked their way into a safety car, so even though they had fucking awful race strategy, out of sheer luck, they just get a great result handed to them, so that's neat. We are going to opt to stay out here because the tires are fresh and we want to take that track position. So that's going to be the call here. We will see how that plays out for us. We are able to get ahead of everyone else as they pit. And yeah, I didn't see a reason to lose more track position just to go to a slightly fresher set of softs in the situation that we are currently in. But regardless, that safety car timing was really not good for us. We go back to green at the end of lap 23, start of lap 24, so we will see how well our tires are going to hold up compared to the super fresh soft tires of the runners behind. And I'm going to hope that they battle like crazy behind me to help me create the gap that I need to hold off the lead of this race, or even open up a gap a little bit, because I know some drivers are out of position further forward than they should be because they stayed out long and got bailed out by the safety car. But it looks like our competition is going to catch up to us quickly with the tire advantage, but we are going to try to hold them off as best and as long as we possibly can here. But you see the slipstream is just so strong on this track, and the fresher tires are going to pass us here. We're going to slot in behind them and just hope that they fight it out. And on lap 25, the tire difference is massive. The slipstream is massive. We're not going to be able to hold on to third either. And we got another car right behind us as well. That is obviously not good for us, and yeah, things are going really downhill. We had a really shitty safety car timing, and it's just bailed out a lot of the guys that were running right behind us. Though the Williams ahead will not be able to hold us off for too long, as we are able to keep up with him. He has a bad entry into the chicane, so this is going to be an opportunity, especially with him being out of ERS, for us to get the overtake on him. We're going to come around the outside, brake later, and he's just going to shove us off the track. So, neat.
Yeah, he's so aggressive.
I mean, it's honestly laughable at this point, folks. I mean, every time I make one of these videos, it's just another race where we do a lot of things right and then just get absolutely fucked right at the end.
He has to.
Spoiler alert, he didn't get a penalty for that. Why? Who knows? But, you know, I'm just going to stick with the logic of if it's something that negatively impacts me, then you'll get away scot-free. So, yeah, having a solid race, looking to remain on the podium, have another solid result, I guess. Maybe not what I wanted, but, you know, a solid podium result, and absolutely no fault of our own. We are pushed off the track, and now we're going to get a really shitty result. And it's just super fucking frustrating because I put in all the time to work on my setup, practice for these races, and then week after week I have to watch as my competition doesn't have any bullshit affect them, while I get awful safety car timings and people shoving me off the track every fucking bit. And we will fast forward to the end of this race. We lose more positions because we had fucking floor damage. I wonder why we had floor damage. And as we come across the line, you will see that we finish in 8th place. So, yeah. I mean, what is there to say? It's just another race, another week where we waste our time putting in work for a race just to get fucked at absolutely no fault of our own. Whether it's by the safety car or by other cars on track, I have to watch as my competition walks away from me on the championship while I just get fucked. So
He is not gonna get in the top
come
10
in next
also.
week
Also,
and
Alexi,
you'll
man,
see the same thing. You'll see one of two results. Either A, I will have a race where I don't get fucked over and win, or a race where
Yeah, my plan when we went 3 wide
and
into
get
the
fucked
chicane
over.
was to box
Which
him
one
into
will
the
it be?
inside.
Yeah,
Who knows?
I
But
didn't even
we
plan
will
on
see you
overtaking
soon
you there. I
in
just
the
had
next
such a
one.
huge run that I suddenly